Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Today, inshallah, we are here with a new topic in a new field, inshallah. And today we'll be talking about the relationship between Tajweed and mathematics. So, themed Islamize maths. So, as we all know, the Quran has embodied all things. Quran talks about all things, either things that have happened or things that are going to occur in the future. The Quran has discussed everything. So the Quran, all subjects we do learn are related to the Quran in one way or the other. So our mathematics is also related to the Quran. Even the Quran is the source of mathematics. In most of the ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the days, the nights, the calculations of days, months, year, weeks, and a lot of things. Even though when it comes to our fiqh, when it comes to the or what is it called? When the Islamic jurisprudence about the females, when it comes to the height, Islam talks about mathematics in that aspect, in a way that they are going to count the days of the Quru, the day they are going to use to do the menstruation, and the day they are going to do the purification. So these also have relation to mathematics. So today, inshallah, we'll talk about the relationship of mathematics and Tajweed. But before we do that, I want us all to say something about Islam. The Quran has discussed about the good deeds of the Muslim, the Mu'min, of human being generally. The Quran talks about the good deed. The Quran said in Surah Al-Zalzala, وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. So in our mathematics, we all know that number below zero are negatives, are negative number. They are written in either minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Any number below zero is a negative number, and all number above zero are positive number. So Islam emphasized this in the Quran, that all the positive numbers are used as good deeds, while the negative number are always used as bad deeds in the Quran. That is why whenever you do a good deed, Allah is going to reward you. And whenever you do a bad deed, Allah is going to minus from that good deed. That's a negative of the positive number. So the good deeds are the positive number, and the bad deeds are the negative number. So Allah has given example of that. Allah said something close to that in the Quran. Allah said, and true will be waiting on the day, and those whose weight of good deeds is heavy, is positive in the balance, it is they shall attain a happy state. That means those that have the positive numbers most in that deed, they'll have to attain the happy state, which is Al-Jannah. And whoever have a lot of negative numbers in their deeds, they'll attain the opposite of the happy state. So this means the Quran give a big virtue to mathematics, because mathematics is derived measurement of temperature. So the one that the Tajweed has to do with is the measurement of length. So we'll have to discuss measurement of length we're going to relate the measurement of length in mathematics to the measurement of our math in our Tajweed. So in Tajweed, we have something called Al-Mad. And Al-Mad means Az-Ziyada. Al-Mad means adding things, elongating things. In our mathematics, we know 1 plus 1 is going to give us 2. That is ziyada. That is adding things or multiplying things, elongate, lengthening things. So in the applied meaning of al-mad is italatu sawt biharfin min hurufil mad al-thalatha. So elongating our word, our letters with one of the letters of mad, either alif or waw or ya. So we now have the measurement of our mad. In the measurement of mad, we have some mad that we measure. The measurement is not going to exceed 1 to 2 millimeters. The measurement is not going to exceed 1 to 2 millimeters. So these are the mad that we are going to explain today, inshallah. So these mads are known as al-mad, al-maddu alladhi namudduha, al-mududu allati namudduha bihawakatain. The mads that the measurements are no more than 2 hawaka. So 2 hawaka is subsequent to 2 millimeter. So let's go. Let's look at this word. These 3 words are example of maddu tabi'i. Al-maddu tabi'i, hukmul maddu tabi'i. The rule of maddu tabi'i is hawakatan. So if we want to lengthen maddu tabi'i in hawakatan, the measurement we are going to make there is just 2 counts. So that 2 count, if we are counting that 2 counts on our ruler, it is not going to exceed 2 millimeter. It is not going to exceed 2 millimeters. So let's go. We want to lengthen this nun with the wa. We want to lengthen the nun with wa. If we are lengthening the nun with wa and we are measuring it, it's not going to exceed 2 counts. That means we are applying our mathematics into our recitation of the Quran. So that means without you knowing the actual measurements, the actual calculation, you might not be able to recite the Quran perfectly. That is why knowing mathematics is so important to our Islamic knowledge. So this is it. Nuhiha. Nuhiha. So without the accurate measurement, you're going to make mistake while reciting the Quran. And when you make mistake while reciting the Quran, it might change the meaning of the Quran. So for you to avoid change in the meaning of the Quran, you should measure the accurate measurement. Nuhiha. So another example is udhina and utina. Now we're going to explain the mad that are not going to exceed 2 counts. The mad that are not going to exceed 2 counts. So we have 4 types of mad that are not going to exceed 2 counts. That is, let's say 2 millimeter. 4 mads that are not going to exceed 2 millimeter. That is known as harakatan in our Tajweed. So let's see this ruler. In our Tajweed, we have just 2 to 3 types of mad. We have a lot of mad, but to categorize our mad into length or into the length or the measurement, we'll have to categorize it into 2 categories. The first category is the one that is not going to exceed just 2 counts. So let's count our 2 counts. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's our 2 millimeter. Yes or no? Yes. So, and the other mad is a mad that is not going to exceed 4 to 6 counts. 4 to 6 counts. And that types of mad will have like 3 to 4 types also. We'll have al-maddul al-jaiz al-mufasil, al-maddul wajib al-muttasil, al-maddul musaqqalu al-kalmi, al-maddu al-musaqqalu al-harfi. So and different a lot of maths. So this will be another topic for another day. But today we are discussing the math that are not exceeding 2 counts. So let's go with the math. The first of the math is known as al-maddu tabi'i. Al-maddu at-tabi'i. So al-maddu tabi'i is a math that we are lengthening it because of the ziyada, because of the addition of one of the letters of mad, which is waw or alif or ya, without hamza before it. So this is al-maddu tabi'i. Example of maddu tabi'i, this is lam, lamun, dhamma, lu, and we have waw after it, right? The waw is having sukun, so it is a mad, waw mad, lam, dhamma, waw mad, lu. For us to lengthen this lu, we mustn't exceed 2 counts. If you exceed 2 counts, that's error, that's a mistake. That means you should know mathematics. You should know the count of 2. You should know the count of 2, and the count of 2 should not exceed 2 millimeters. So let's go. Qalu ya Musa. So we have 3 maddu tabi'i here. We have lu, we have ya, and sa. Lu, ya, sa. Qalu ya Musa. So another mad that is not going to exceed 2 counts is maddul badal. It is what? Maddul badal. So maddul badal is a mad that is derived from 2 letters that are the same. Hamza. It is derived from Hamza and Ya'ul mad or Wawul mad or Alful mad. Maddul badal is derived from Hamza and Wawul mad or Ya'ul mad and Alful mad. So let's see an example of that. Liyazdadu imana, ima. That also is not going to exceed 2 counts. So which is the same with what? 2 millimeter, which is accurate with 2 millimeters. So let's go. The third one is maddul iwad. So maddul iwad is a mad that is derived from fathatan at the end of a word. Fathatan at the end of a word. So example of that is hakima. Inna Allah kana aliman hakima. Aliman hakima. So ma is a maddul iwad, and it is not going to exceed 2 counts while we are reciting the Qur'an, which is accurate to 2 millimeters also. And the last mad that is categorized under the 2 counts, which is known as the 2 millimeters, is maddus sila. Is what? Maddus sila. Maddus sila is derived from the waw. The waw that we are going to add to how. Not going to exceed 2 counts while we are reciting the Quran, which is accurate to 2 millimeters also. And the last mad that is categorized under the 2 counts, which is known as the 2 millimeters, is maddus sila. Is what? Maddus sila. Maddus sila is derived from the waw. The waw that we are going to add to how. This how is known as how domir. So example of that, let's recite the Quran. Let's hear. Innahu ala. It's not going to exceed that 2 counts. Innahu ala raj'ihi. The same applies to raj'ihi laqadir. So these are the relationship of the 2 counts of mad known as hawkatan with mathematics. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to increase our knowledge and understanding. Shukran. Barakallahu feekum. Nafa Allahu bikum wa bina al-ummata qatiba. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Salamun ala al-mursaleen. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. So the next episode inshallah.